Welcome to the 2025 Economic Depression and Preparation channel. Thank you for joining me today on this Thursday edition. Briefly here, we're going to be talking about the latest jobs report, and at the latest jobless claims, as well as the layoffs that are continuing to happen in this booming economy. Wall Street is doing excellent. Main Street is doing medium right now, as many Americans are still worried about the direction of the economy in terms of prices and in terms of job availability with AI and some other things that could be coming into effect later on this year. But despite that, we're looking at MarchWatch.com article saying that California wildfires boost U.S. jobless claims to 6-week high here. Layoffs in the U.S., of course, is extremely low right now. Unemployment rates hovering around 4.1%. However, it has risen jobless claims to a 6-week high in California. So you can see here, jobless claims increased by 6,000 to 223,000 in 7 days for the week ending January 18th. The government said highest claims total since the first week of December. So the number of workers that are collecting unemployment benefits rose to 1.9 million based on seasonally adjusted averages here. So you can see here that the continuing claims is the highest since the 2018 when the pandemic, if the pandemic period is omitted. So they're not including the pandemic period, they're omitting that, and so it's taking people longer who lose a job to find another job because of the slowdown in hiring. And so it's not only happening in California, it's happening in a lot of states: Illinois, Texas, Florida, Michigan, Kentucky. A lot of states are having that same problem. They're having a hard time filling vacancies, either intentionally or unintentionally. So the rate of layoffs remain low. That is good news, according to this article, Market Watch. However, the unemployment rate is also very low. That's good news, but for the next administration. However, the claims are starting to tick up, and that we have to watch that going into the spring and summer. So CNN on CNBC.com, CNN to lay off hundreds of employees as post-inauguration transformation begins, sources say. So as you know, the local media, the national media, is having some changes. They're getting less money for advertising dollars, things of those natures, and they're starting to trim the fat. This is nothing unusual. Let me just say that the beginning of the year, trimming the fat with companies and private sector and different things is nothing unusual as they prepare for tax season and getting ready for the profit season coming up in the summer. It's not unusual to start trimming the fat and cutting off different sectors or different departments or bureaus. That's not unusual. So, but this article said that they're planning to lay off CNN, according to sources here of CNBC, planning to lay off hundreds of employees this week. NBC News is also following suit. They want to scale back a couple of positions here, but they won't scale back as many as CNN. So newsrooms, as I said before here, newsrooms across the U.S. are reorganizing digital audiences as fewer people watch cable and broadcast news. As you know, many people have gone to streaming news entirely on the internet. They're not watching the legacy channels as much, CNN, NBC, Fox News, ABC, etc. So they plan to make these layoffs. But my question is this to you, ladies and gentlemen. Will these layoffs, and not only these organizations like CNN, ABC, NBC, will these layoffs extend to other sectors like the hospitality, tourism sector, the manufacturing sector again? What about the education sector? We've got a lot of schools that could be consolidating in these school districts that are having hard times in Detroit and Houston and Baltimore and these different sectors and these in California. These school districts could be consolidating. Public school districts and independent school districts, ISDs or whatever you want to call it, they could be consolidating and making layoffs too, as well as the education sector. Department of Education is being targeted, as you know, as being one of those areas that could be cut in this administration possibly. So let me know if you think the layoffs will just only stay in these media companies or will they extend further out. American Airlines shares tumble today as outlook falls short. Now, this is another area where the airlines, I believe, is going to consolidate. The big four airlines that we have in the U.S. Is going to either consolidate or buy up a lot of the smaller airlines like Spirit or JetBlue per se. The big four: American, Delta, Southwest, and United. Now, in terms of American top four airlines. Now, and Delta, excuse me. So, American Airlines has spent much of the past year working to reverse the damage from a business travel sales strategy. They will focus on upgrading their business travel and transcontinental travel. That kind of fell flat a little bit, and so American Airlines It experienced a wider than expected loss for the first quarter and an increase in costs. And you never want to have costs exceed your debt level and exceed your operating cost burden. The airline signed a new credit card deal with Citi late last year, hoping to turn things around. As you can see, a 787 Dreamliner departed from LAX here to Tokyo. So they did increase the international routes that they have available, but unfortunately, they're not going to meet shareholders' expectations. And the airline said until it cuts unit costs, excluding fuel, the rise in this low single digit percentage points over the first quarter of 2024, it expects to fall as much as 2% stock over the last year. And so they're going to have to do that. The earnings are going to be down. And let me know what you think about this. Do you think the airlines are going to be consolidating with more buyouts? I plan to see at least one buyout in the airline sector this year. I don't know if it's going to be American, Delta, Southwest, JetBlue, any of these other airlines, but I plan to see one merger or buyout in this sector by the end of this year. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for listening and have a great Thursday. God bless. I'll talk to you soon. And be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can be notified when the latest videos come out for the latest interpretation of financial news. I appreciate your support. Take care. God bless.